guys, welcome back to today's video. So today's video is a book haul. So this is my fall book haul. Recently work has been very hectic lately and I've been like super stressed. So I have been coping with that by bringing myself to Barnes & Nobles, shopping on Amazon, and just getting myself some books for this fall and this like winter coming up soon. So we're just gonna dive right in. I went to buy some books on Amazon, I went to Target, and a majority of these books are from Barnes & Nobles. So let's dive right in. So the first two books are books by K.L. Walter. I got these two books from Amazon. And so these two books I believe are YA. I got some fantasy books. I got some young adult book and adult books as well. I got some YA books. I haven't been into them recently, but I feel like I need YA books so that I can start and finish them really quickly when I'm in between like my longer books, and especially when I just need like a palate cleanser. So this first book here is What Happens After Midnight. And so Lily Hopper has 2 more weeks until she officially finished with boarding school. With graduation quickly approaching, Lily is worried that she's somehow missed out on the fun of being in high school. So when she receives a mysterious note inviting her to join the anonymous senior class jester in executing the end of the year prank, Lily sees her chance to put her goody two-shoes reputation behind her. When Lily realizes the jester is none other than Taggart Swell, her ex-boyfriend, she's already in too deep to back out, and it's going to be a problem. Lily might have dumped Tag, but she still has major feelings. Plus, this brilliant plan to steal the school yearbook targets none other than Lily's prom date, the senior class president, Daniel. As a group of pranksters hide cryptic clues across campus for Daniel to find, Lily and Tag find themselves in close quarters. As the exes dodge campus safety guards, night owl teachers, and a troop of freshmen, and even Daniel himself, new sparks fly between them, but old hurts and painful secrets refuse to be ignored, and with graduation on the horizon, sometimes it takes letting go to realize that some bonds can't be broken. Oh, okay, this sounds like this is like kind of like a second chance trope in my opinion, so I'm very excited to read this book. I'm excited to read all these books, honestly. All of these books, I either just like found them randomly while I was like scrolling through the website or like in person, but all of these books here are books that like I found, I believe. Like none of these books are books that like I was like hunting for. So this is the first book of the haul. The second book again is also by K.L. Walter, and this is Maybe Meant to Be, another YA book. So everyone at Bexley School believes that Sage Morgan and Charlie Carmichael are meant to be, even though Charlie seems to have a new girlfriend every month and Sage has never had a real relationship. Their friends and friendly all know it's just a matter of time until they realize they are actually in love. When Luke Morrissey shows up on campus, his presence immediately shakes things up. Charlie and Luke are drawn to each other the moment they meet, giving Sage the opportunity to spend time with Charlie's twin brother, Nick. Oh my goodness. But Charlie is afraid of what others will think if he accepts that he has much more than a friendship with Luke, and Sage fears that if she lets things with Nick get too serious too quickly, they won't be able to last as a couple outside of high school and they'll miss their chance at forever. Charlie and Sage will need to rely on each other and their lifelong friendship to figure out what the boys they love. Okay, so it sounds like there are 2 couples in here. Okay, excited to read this. And then the next book and the last book from Amazon is a book that my sister bought me, actually. This is The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. This is a dark romance book. Okay, guys, I am not a big dark romance girly. I have a portion of my shelf. I literally have 3 shelves dedicated right here to dark romance. And honestly, I have not read any of these books yet, except for God of Malice. And the Maddest Obsession. Okay, don't judge me. I know my TBR list is quite long, but you know, they're there. I'm not a big dark romance reader. I tried to get into it. I couldn't, as you can tell. But my sister is obsessed with Chantal Tessier, and she bought this book for me to try. And so I'm going to be trying it. I don't know how far I'll get into it, but we're going to try. But anyway, this book, I don't know too much about it. I just know that it's dark and romance, and so let's just read a quick excerpt. Barrington University is home of the Lornes, a secret society that requires their blood in payment. They are above all the most powerful in the world. They devote their life to violence in exchange for power, and their senior year they are offered a chosen one. Okay. People think growing up with money is freeing, but I promise you it's not. My entire life has been planned out for me. I never got the chance to do what I wanted until Riot Alexander Archer came along, and he gave me an option for a better life. He offered me what no one else ever had, freedom. I choose to be his. That's what he made me believe anyway, but it's just another lie, a way that the lords manipulate you into doing what they want. After being sucked into the dark, twisted world of the lords, I embraced my new role and allowed Riot to parade me like the trophy that I was to him. But like all things, what started out as a game soon became a fight for survival, and the only way out was death. This sounds dark. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe this sounds like a late October, early November read. I don't know, but this is on my TBR list. Don't know when I'll get to it, but I'll get to it. So those are the 3 books that I got on Amazon. And so let's go into Target next. So from Target, I got 2 books. I have so many paper bags around, but you can start counting the number of bags that I have, and that's how many trips that I took to all these stores to help me cope with stress recently. Anyway, so the first book I got from Target was just from browsing. This is Right on Cue by Fallon Ballard. And so Emmy Harper is no stranger to Hollywood, having penned some of the most popular movies of the past year, but her latest project has hit a standstill. Unable to find the perfect leading lady, Emmy's been recruited to take on the role herself, dusting off acting skills she hasn't used in over a decade. Things take a turn for the worse when she's left with one co-star she can't trust, Grayson West. A blockbuster action hero known for his megawatt smile and impossible abs, Grayson is anyone's dream of a romantic lead. Too bad Emmy still blames him for her disastrous first movie and the only end to her acting career. Oof. The friction between the two risks tanking the movie, and no one knows if it's lingering awkwardness from their youth or unresolved sexual tension. But if they want to save the production and their own career, they need to get their act together quickly, both on and off romance. Okay. So when I read this excerpt in the store in Target, I knew that this was like an enemies to romance trope, and I've been eating that trope up recently. I love it. Enemies to romance. That's all I've been reading recently, and so I'm excited to get started on this book. And so the next book is actually a fantasy book. This is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. I saw this book over like throughout my TikToks and like some videos on YouTube. And so it wasn't like a book that I was like dying to read, but it was a book that I was very intrigued in. And so I saw this at Target. I saw this book also at Barnes & Noble. It was like, for full price at Barnes & Noble, it was like $32, but at Target it was like $20 or so. And so I had to pick it up because this book, guys, she looks stunning with the sprayed edges, and it's also a fantasy book. So I'm very excited for this one. And so this book is inspired by the legend of Cixi, one of the famous 4 beauties of ancient China. A Song to Drown River is an epic novel steeped in myth about womanhood, war, sacrifice, and love against all odds as the fate of 2 kingdoms hangs in delicate balance. Okay, I kind of want to read you guys the excerpt too, so you guys like know a little bit more about it. So I'm just gonna start reading. Cixi's beauty is seen as a blessing to the villagers of Yue, convinced that the best fate for a girl is to marry well and support her family. When Cixi draws the attention of the famous young military advisor Fan Li, he presents her with a rare opportunity to use her beauty as a weapon, one that could topple the rival neighboring kingdom of Wu, improve the lives of her people, and avenge her sister's murder. All she has to do is to infiltrate the enemy's palace as a spy, seduce their immoral king, and weaken them from within. Trained by Fan Li in everything from classical instruments to concealing emotion, Cixi hones her beauty into the perfect blade. But she knows Fan Li can see through every deception she masters, the attraction between them burning away any falsehoods. Once inside the enemy palace, Cixi finds herself under the hungry gaze of the king's advisors, while the king himself shows her great affection. Despite his gentleness, a brutality lurks, and Cixi knows she can never let her guard down. But the higher Cixi climbs in the Wu court, the further she and Fan Li have to fall. And if she unmasks as a traitor, she will bring both kingdoms down. Okay, wow. Alright. Sorry for the pronunciation. Bad with pronunciation. But anyway, this, I don't know. This sounds like it's a fantasy book that takes place in like ancient China. And in terms of like romance, I am not sure. It sounds like Cixi and Fan Li will have some sort of romance, but I don't know how much romance we'll have in here. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But I'm excited to deep dive into this one. I actually haven't read any like fantasy books that takes place in ancient China yet, and I know they exist, but this will be my first one, and I'm super excited to start on this. Okay, so next off, Barnes and Noble. I literally have 3 small Barnes and Noble bags and 1 giant bag. And so I guess we'll just start. Okay, this is the first bag that I picked up. Again, another bag. Okay. The first book from Barnes Noble is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I have so many books by Lynn Painter, and I actually haven't started on any of them, but I heard that she's a really, really amazing author, so I have her books here, like The Do-Over, Better Than the Movies, Mr. Wrong Number, Happily Ever After, and Love Wager. I have it all behind me, and now this book, Betting on You, is going to be added to the collection. I just picked it up because I knew it was the author's name and the beautiful sprayed edges, but this is a YA book, and let's see. The first time Bailey meets Charlie, he's the worst, sounds like enemies to lover. While moving to Omaha, after her parents' sudden divorce, Bailey finds herself trapped for 10 years with a cynical and obnoxiously opinionated stranger, the polar opposite of her careful, well-behaved, cheery temperament. So imagine her surprise when 10 years later, Charlie turns out to be her co-worker at her new job, but this time around they find themselves talking comfortably and even laughing. Still, they agree they can't stand each other, and when they witness 2 of their co-workers flirting, their commentary on the moment spirals into a bet. Charlie insists that the member of the opposite sex can't just be friends, and Bailey is determined to prove him wrong. Amidst all their bickering and playful banter, Charlie works to deflect the feelings he developed for Bailey. He's terrified to lose her if his crush becomes known, and what doesn't help his agenda is Bailey and Charlie's fake dating in order to disrupt the annoying pleasantries between Bailey and Mom and her mom's new boyfriend. Sorry, my throat. I have a cold right now, but I'm trying. Soon, what Charlie was hoping to avoid becomes a reality as Bailey starts to see him as not only a friend, but someone who makes her hand shake and heart race. But Charlie has a secret that involves Bailey and another bet Charlie may have made. Can the two make a real go of things, or has Charlie the secret doom done before they can start? Guys, I am so sorry for my voice. I am recovering from a cold. But anyway, this sounds very cute. Sounds like a romance to lover YA book. So whenever I need a palate cleanser, this is going to be one of the next books I pick up. So yeah. Okay. And then this book was buy one, get one, 50% off. So I had to buy another book. Of course, right? Buy one, get one, 50% off. And this one is Just Say Yes by Goldie Moldavsky. I hope I didn't butcher that name, but this is the cover. Isn't it so cute? Okay, so Jimena Ramos had no idea she was undocumented. Now she's 17 and she needs to figure out a way to stay in New York City, the only home she can remember. There's just one possibility that will get her a green card quickly enough. Jimena is going to find an American to marry her. She's got one excellent candidate. Vitally, her next door neighbor and friend, the only person she trusts with her secret, but Vitaly's got his own plan for the future. He's a definite no. So Amanda tries online dating. She decides to approach this marriage like a business transaction, but she figures out a plan that just might save her and make her a citizen at last. But of course, she can't stop thinking about Vitaly. Okay, alright. So this sounds like a friends to lover situation. Okay, but I believe this is also YA. I believe. But it seems like a very short, quick read, so excited for this one as well. I'm excited for all these books. I don't know why I keep saying I'm excited. Okay, moving on to the next bag. Next mini bag. I have 2 books in here. These are also buy one, get one 50% off. And in this bag, I also have a bar of chocolate. If you are ever in a Barnes & Noble and you love chocolate, try the Hamon's Midnight Snack. This comes with milk chocolate with pretzel, cookie, peanut brittle, mallow, and cereal. Best chocolate bar in the world. Hands down my favorite chocolate bar. And I barely even eat chocolate bars. So yeah. Okay. Buy one, get on 50% off from Barnes & Noble. I got Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and Double Apacks by Josie Juniper. Okay. So I'm sure you've seen this all over your For You page, like on TikTok and YouTube by now. And this is, again, Wild Eye by Elsie Silver. I have her first book in this series. Again, I haven't gotten to it, but I will. But this is the second book in this series. I don't know what the series name is, actually. But anyway, I'll just read a really quick excerpt. So, a rugged mountain town seemed like the perfect escape from a life in shambles, but one day she ran full tilt into the world's hottest single dad, and now all her plans are ruined. As a chart-topping country singer with a recent streak of bad press, it's hard for Skylar Stone to find any peace, but she finds it in Rose Hill with a little boy and a little girl who steals her heart as thoroughly as their dad. Okay, so the dad is Weston Belmont. The man is a shameless flirt. He oozes confidence and masculinity in a way that's downright distracting. And in bed, he's addictive. Everything with him is wild and impulsive, and Skylar is desperate to regain some control. But no one else has supported her like Wes does, and no one else has made her feel love as he does either. So while Skylar's brain says settling down with a small-town horse trainer is impossible, her heart says she's right where she belongs. Still, her life as a celebrity haunts her. It has the power to pull her and Wes apart. She can see in his eyes that he wants her to stay, and she wants that too. But Skylar knows better than anyone that you don't always get what you want. Okay. This sounds like, I don't know. I don't even know what trope this is. This is just like a romance book. But it sounds like Skylar and Wes, this whole book is just a book about them working it out together and hopefully getting together in the end. So, hopefully, romance book. Excited. Okay? Alright. Next, buy one, get one 50% off. Double Apacks by Josie Juniper. Okay. Honestly, the biggest reason why I picked up this book was because of Abby Jimenez's comment on the front of the cover. When I am picking up books, I am like judging the cover, but not too much. I am mainly reading like little like excerpt that like other authors has given like on the book itself. And so Abby Jimenez wrote, "A spicy must-STEM reads for F1 fans and STEM nerds." I'm a STEM nerd. Okay, so yeah. And then also up here too, it says, an engineer and a cocky race car driver goes head to head in the spicy Formula One romance for fans of Drive to Survive and Hannah Grace. I am a big Hannah Grace fan. I love book 1, 2, and 3. And so when I saw that, I knew I had to pick this book up right away. And so Phaedra Morgan is one of the best race engineers in Formula One. She's a math prodigy with dazzling skill, cutting wit, and no patience for matter of the heart. Of course, her job would be a lot easier if she didn't have to keep butting heads with the team's cocky and infuriatingly hot new driver. Cosmin Adrian is intense and committed, but is famous for his off-track romantic exploit on his on-track wizardry. Yet his devil-may-care facade conceals a haunted past. When the pair strikes up a secret and thrillingly forbidden arrangement to improve their communication and bond of trust, the heat of their attraction turns to something more. I am so sorry, guys. I am like quite sick right now, and I'm like dying while reading. But anyway. But no secret stays hidden for long in the racing world, and soon things are spinning out of control. With everything on the line, will they be able to strip away all their defense and go throttle for a chance at love? Aww, this sounds like low-key, a little bit enemies to lover kind of. Sort of, but I'm very excited for this book because I am an engineer, and then this girl in here, the female lead, is an engineer. So female in STEM, female engineering, like a female STEM lead, a female engineer lead, like in any book I will read, especially if it's a romance. I will eat that up. Okay, that is why I also love all of Allie Hazelwood's book. Okay, anyway, next bag from Barnes & Noble, next mini bag, and I felt this bag and there's something else left in it, and that's my second bar of Hamon's Midnight Snack Chocolate Bar. Yeah, third bag from Barnes & Noble. Okay. I got 2 books. Again, this is the buy one, get one 50% off. Okay. Barnes & Noble is very, very expensive, and when they do their buy one, get one 50% off, the price of these 2 books, or any of the books when they have the buy one, get one 50% off, it equates to like the price of like what is on Amazon. So I do like those, and I like that because it's, you know, cheaper. And I also have a Barnes & Noble like premium membership, so I get 10% off like on what I've like on top of this discount here. So this is why I really love Barnes & Noble buy one get one 50% off deals. I love it. Anyway, the first book I got was The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just a romance book, but like a holiday season sort of ish book. Anyway, Nicholas Cole Klaus used to love Christmas until his father, this reigning Santa, turned the holiday into a PR facade. Cole would do anything to escape the the spectacle, including getting tangled into a drunken, supremely hot makeout session with a beautiful man behind a seedy bar one night. But the heir to Christmas is soon commanded to do his duty. He will marry his best friend, Iris, the Easter princess, and his brother's not-so-secret crush, a situation that has disaster written all over it. Things go bad to worse when a rival arrives to challenge Cole for the prince's hand, and Cole comes face to face with his mysterious behind-the-bar hottie, Hex, the Prince of Halloween. It's a fake competition between two haughty princes who can't keep their hands off each other over a marriage of convenience that no one wants, and it all leads to one of the sweetest, sexiest, messiest, most delightfully unforgettable love stories of the year. Whew, okay, wow. Yeah, when I read this in the bookstore, I knew I had to pick this book up immediately. This reminds me of Red, White, and Royal Blue, and so I'm very excited to read this. I'm probably going to save this closer to Thanksgiving, or I'm gonna see this book closer to October, so I'm like finishing up like Halloween-y vibes and moving on to Christmas vibes, so I'm very excited for that. And look at the sprayed edges, red, very, very beautiful. Cover is, oh wow, okay, very excited for this book. Seems super, super fun, sounds fast-paced as well. Okay, and then the next book I got is for the October fall vibe as well. This is called Witch by Lucy Jane Wood. And so, Belladonna Blackthorn hasn't lost her magical spark, precisely, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. With her witchcraft under wraps and a toxic boss making her days miserable, Bella's struggling to keep her beloved lunar books afloat and just make it through the day. The last thing she has time for is Miss Force perfecting her magic. I am so sorry. I'm like having brain fog right now. So in her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch. Belle fears the worst. With only a month of October left to either prove herself or risk losing her magic forever, Belle will need all the help she can get from the women in her life, from an unfriendly mentor figure, and even from an infuriating coven watchman who swore to protect her. Ooh, is there romance in here? This book, when I picked it up, it was a book that's basically like the main character like finding herself again and whatnot, but I didn't know that there was any romance in it, so I'm excited. Oh, okay, it says fantasy down here in the very corner, so fantasy, hopefully, fingers crossed, romance book. I'm excited. It seems like it's a quick read. It's not too thick, but yeah, it sounds like it's a book for just quick read, a good feel book, so I'm excited for that. I am tired, and it's only been like a couple of minutes. I feel like it hasn't been that long, but like feel like I'm losing my voice. Anyway, the next and last bag of books that we got for today's haul is this gigantic bag from Barnes and Noble. So I'm gonna just take the book out. I already started reading a couple of these books, so yeah, you can see that I was like pretty sad this day due to the damage that I did. And so, okay, first two books that I got are YA fantasy book. The first is the Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. So let's see. Oh gosh, guys, this book is so beautiful. The cover is amazing, and the inside cover is also super, super pretty. This made me fell in love with the book, and just wait. It's so pretty. Oh my god, this book, so pretty, inside, outside, everything. And this is also Barnes & Noble YA Book Club of the Month. I've seen this book kind of like everywhere, and so I had to pick it up. And I didn't realize that YA books are so cheap. Like this one, like hardcover, full price was like $21.99. So yeah, okay. So in the dark underbelly of a beautiful city, two rival gang members are pitted against each other in a deadly game of duty and revenge, in which the most dangerous mistake is falling in love. In Phantom, a kingdom of cobbled streets, flickering lamplight, beautiful buildings, and secret catacombs, shade magic is a scarce and deadly commodity controlled by two enemy guilds, the Cloaks and the Daggers, the Thieves and the Assassins. On the night of her mother's murder, 17-year-old Seraphine runs for her life, seeking sanctuary with the Cloaks. Sarah is set on revenge, but are her secrets abilities a match with the dark-haired boy whose quicksilver eyes follow her around the city? Nothing can prepare Sarah for the moment she finally comes face to face with Ransom, His name is Ransom? Heir to the Order of Daggers, and Ransom, is shocked to discover that this unassuming farm girl wields a strange and blazing magic he has never seen before. As the cloaks and daggers grapple for control of Phantom's underworld, Sarah and Ransom are consumed by the push and pull of their magic, and the deadly spark and terrible vengeance that keeps drawing them back together. Okay, wow, very excited for this book. Love the name Seraphine. I don't know how I feel about the name Ransom, but okay, I guess. But anyway, yeah, excited to read this book. It's a beautiful book. It sounds like it's a very fast-paced fantasy book as well. Hopefully it'll be turned into a series, who knows. Okay, the next book is Air by Sabaa Tahir. Sabaa Tahir, she has her other series that's like The Ember and the Flame, I believe. It's like a 4-book series that I have over there. I have the out of print version. I'm like looking for the 4th out of print version, like hardcover currently, and I still haven't been able to find it, but I'm looking for it. Excuse me. So those 4 books is what I'm gonna be reading first before I read this book. But I decided to get this book because it's a Barnes and Noble's exclusive edition, and it was like $21.99, and I had 10% off on top of this. So I decided, why not treat myself? And so this inside is a very beautiful map, and the cover itself, very beautiful, very beautiful. I never honestly opened the dust jackets of my hardcover, and I really need to start doing that because the inside looks so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Air. So growing up in the Kagari slums, Ais has seen her fair share of suffering. An old tragedy fuels her need for vengeance, but it is love of her people that propels her, until one hot-headed mistake lands her in an inescapable prison where the embers of her wrath ignite. Banished from her people for an unforgivable crime, Saoirse is down on her luck tracker who uses magic to trace her marks. Destitute, she agrees to hunt down a killer who has murdered children across the Martial Empire. All she has to do is carry out the job and get paid, but when a chance encounter leads to an unexpected attraction, Saoirse learns her mission might cost her far more than she's willing to give up. And then Quill is the crown prince of the Empire and nephew of a venerated empress, but he loathes to take the throne, and he loathes to take the throne when his aunt steps down. As the son of a rivaled emperor, he, better than anyone, understands that power is corrupt. When a vicious new enemy threatens the survival of the empire, Quill must ask himself if he can rise above his tragic lineage and be the heir his people need. Beloved storyteller Sabaa Tahir interweaves the life of 3 young people as they grapple with power, treachery, love, and the devastating consequence of unchecked greed on a journey that may cost them their lives in the heart, literally. Is this a love triangle? We have Ais, Saoirse, and Quill. Maybe, perhaps. I don't know how I feel about love triangles. It's a hit or miss for me, honestly. But I will need to get through Sabaa's 4 other book before I read The Air. But I just wanted to have this book on my bookshelf because look at it, beautiful. Okay, I have 4 books left. Okay, so this book, The Ever King. The next 2 books, The Ever King and The Ever Queen. If you are a romantasy girly, I'm sure you have seen these 2 books before. I have The Ever King on my Kindle, but I decided to buy like the paperback version of it, so I have a copy for myself. And so I'm this far along already. I have a little bit more to go, and then I'm going to read The Ever Queen. This is a duology. And so for The Ever King, for years, Eric, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making Eric a prisoner in his own realm. When his enemy's daughter unwittingly breaks the chains of the Ever, and Eric plans to toss her into his game of revenge. She's innocent, he's vicious, but he will take back what he's lost no matter the price unless she steals his heart first. Okay. Enemies to lover, romantic books. What more can you ask for? This is The Ever King. This is The Ever Queen. Honestly, so far, 5 out of 5 for me. And I'm almost finished with the first book, so I'm excited to read the second book afterwards. But I read you the excerpt, and I'm telling you right now, if you are a romantic lover and you love enemies of romance, these 2 duologies are for you. Okay. Whew, okay. Last 2 books. The last book that I have here, the second to last book that I have here is Stalking Jack the Ripper. This book was $5. I bought this book when I got my matcha latte at the Starbucks cafe in Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble does this deal, I think every 2 months or so, where you buy a drink from their cafe and you can get a specific book for $5. And for this month and last month, it was Stalking Jack the Ripper. I saw this book actually on my For You page a couple of times, and so I was very glad that I was able to snatch this up for $5. Okay. He murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He taunted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, in the end, I could not deny it. I was a girl who loved stalking the Ripper. That is all you need to know. This sounds like a thriller. I don't know if there's romance in it, but this is a really good book. If you want to read a thriller, I'm not too big into thriller, but this is one book that I'm excited to read. So if you're looking for a good thriller for this upcoming month, October, run to your Starbucks in Barnes & Noble and grab this book for $5. Okay, the last book, but not least, this is You with a View by Jessica Joyce. I recently finished this book. And this book is five stars. I read this book while I was just an emotional wreck while reading this book. I was already emotional because I was going through like my period. So while I was reading this book, I was just like sobbing every other chapter just because of like the feels that I was getting out of this book. So we have two lead. We have Noelle and we have Theo. Noelle and Theo. And so Noelle and Theo, they knew each other when they were in high school, and they were basically like nemesis. They were always competing with one another. And so after they graduated high school, they really weren't in contact and whatnot until years later when Noelle's grandma passed away, and she found like a box of her grandma's things, including like a picture and a note with her grandma and this mysterious man. Noelle believed that her grandma and her grandpa loved each other and like were their one and only true loves, but that was not true. Her grandma had somebody else that she loved before she met Noelle's grandpa. And so Noelle makes a TikTok and asks the public, hi, like, you know, this is a picture of my grandpa and this mysterious like man. If you know him, please reach out to me. And so that mysterious man ends up being Theo's grandfather. And so Noelle's get in touch, and then she meets up with Theo again for the first time in, I think, like 10 years. And so they're going through like the old letters, and then she finds out that Noelle, like her grandma and this man, right, Theo's grandfather, they were going to elope. They had this like big honeymoon road trip plan, and so Noelle decides that she's gonna take this road trip plan and go on it herself. But then Theo and his grandfather joins her, and so this is a long road trip journey that we go on, where Noelle and Theo learn more about each other and just kind of like reconnect. So honestly, this is in my opinion, this is somewhat of a enemies to lovers reconnecting romance. So if you really need a feel good romantic romance book, read this book with You with the View. Read it. I loved it. I sobbed throughout it. 10 out of 10. Okay, so these are all the books that we got for this book haul. Oh my goodness, how many books did I buy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I am crazy. I got 17 books. I am officially going to put myself on a book buying ban. Even though Target has buy two, get one free going on right now, I'm going to try my best to not purchase anything. But yeah, this is the book haul that I have. Thanks for watching. And let me know in the comments if you read any of these books or if you have any book recommendation. See you guys in the next video. Bye.